Well, look who the algorithm decided to bless with this video. It's a straight-up miracle. Must have been a cosmic glitch of boredom, 'cause even the universe got tired of watching you play the fool like it's your full-time gig. You ghosted? Slow clap, champ! You finally stopped chasing her like some lovesick puppy begging for scraps. And now, in the deafening silence you left behind, guess who's losing it? Yup, her. 'Cause when you're sleeping like a baby, you can bet your ass someone else is out there lighting matches in a room full of dynamite. And you know what? Screw the reasons for the drama. Whether it was her icy attitude, an ego bigger than a damn spaceship, fake charm masking straight-up neglect, or some half-assed puppet show doesn't matter. What does matter is that you walking miracle, finally grasped the basics of human dignity. No crawling, no begging, no haunting her like some sad ghost. And the best part? Your absence is the fanciest punishment she could ever get. Long-ass text? Nah. Subtweet? Lame. Explaining why you dipped? Don't waste your breath. Your piece is so loud it's got her scrambling to figure out where she screwed up. 'Cause let's be real, my guy. Silence screams louder than any Arial 12 font meltdown. Your cold shoulders her new armor. And that chill vibe you're rocking, that Himalayan monk-level zen, that's the trophy of someone who walked out of an emotional minefield and lived to tell the tale. While you're out here breathing easy, she's tearing herself apart, trying to figure out how she lost someone who didn't even say goodbye. Spoiler alert, she lost you because she thought she had you on lock. Now she's stuck with the HD torture of her own making. This video's for you, you survivor of the emotional circus. You who got ignored, stomped on, and now struts around with the swagger of someone who learned being untouchable isn't cold, it's growth. So sit tight and watch till the end, 'cause I'm about to drop what you should do next, and more importantly, what you should never do. But if you've learned anything, you already know the most savage, effective response is the glorious nothing. Oh, and before I forget, this video only popped up because someone with a functioning brain hit like and subscribed. So, if you don't want to keep leeching off the algorithm like a digital freeloader, do the bare minimum. Smash that like button, subscribe, and drop a thanks in the comments. Not for me, my ego's already in beast mode. It's for the algorithm, that digital dictator deciding if this truth bomb content keeps slapping faces with reality. Alright, enough with the theatrics. Let's get to the good stuff. Number 1, the joke of being her forever plan. She swore you were her lifetime subscription, like some sketchy phone plan nobody bothers to cancel. The last thing she ever imagined was you pulling a Houdini and vanishing into thin air. 'Cause let's be honest, she got drunk on your presence like it was free Wi-Fi at a coffee shop, used it till it crashed. You were her yes man on steroids. The go-to fix for her self-inflicted drama. Her unpaid therapist, always ready to mop up her messes. One pout from her, and you were jumping through hoops like a trained poodle. She had your soft heart mapped out like a cheat code and played you like a game on easy mode. The result? You got demoted to a side character in your own story. When you're always there glued to her, predictable, ready to roll, you stop being a thrill and start being furniture. And furniture, my dude, only gets noticed when it's gone. For a spoiled, bored ego, predictability is the kiss of death for respect. But she made the classic mistake of someone who's never heard no. She thought your patience was weakness and your kindness was a doormat. She forgot the guy who's now radio silent was once screaming to be heard in her emotional chaos. But now, your presence is gone, and your absence is a gut punch that hurts worse than any fight you ever had. You didn't bounce out of spite. You left because you realized staying was like humiliating yourself in an empty auditorium. She thought your limits were stretchy, huh? That she could twist, bend, and crush you, and you'd still come back with a smile. But nah, that snapped. It broke in silence. No fanfare, no warning, no dramatic exit music. Now she misses you at the exact time she used to ignore you. Her phone's a graveyard of notifications, and life's lost that "I've got this" flavor. You were her routine, sure, but now you're her absence. And absence? It's the slowest, bitterest poison anyone can swallow, especially for someone who thought you were her court jester for life. But plot twist. You didn't leave. You just stopped coming back. And that, my friend, is unforgivable to someone who thought they had you in their pocket. Number 2. The day you committed the silent crime. She still hasn't wrapped her head around it. But that day, that icy silence you dropped like shutting a door without a glance back was game over. That was the moment you saw the circus burning and thought, you know what? Let it blaze. And no, you didn't make a scene. No yelling, no smashing glasses, no Instagram-fueled farewell essay. You just went quiet. And that silence was the knife she never saw coming and now can't pull out. Why? 'Cause a woman who thrives on drama is ready for a fight. She's prepped for a 7-minute voice note war, a battle of shady posts. But what she can't handle? That deadly, destabilizing male silence. The kind that doesn't explain, doesn't justify, doesn't warn. It just is. And that nothing started roaring louder than any argument. She scoured for clues, hunted for a reason, a word, a flinch. But she found zilch. 'Cause you didn't do anything. You stopped replying, stopped explaining, stopped trying to make sense of her self-made chaos. And the void left behind? It's a maze. Now she's stuck in the worst kind of torment. Doubt. Does he still care? Is he with someone else? Did he just get fed up with her? Or with love altogether? And the best part? You're done handing out answers. You're not her emotional HR rep anymore. The clown show's over. Her phone's silent. Not 'cause of the carrier, but 'cause you're not there. And that, my guy, cuts deeper than any dramatic goodbye. She was braced for an explosion, for demands, for a spectacle. But you were man enough to skip the show she was itching for. You went quiet. You bowed out. You left the audience, the stage, the script. And suddenly her one-woman show became an empty monologue. Her little games lost the only player who still took them seriously. And now, guess what? That mistake of giving too much, of always being there, proved it was all your choice. You stayed 'cause you wanted to, 'cause you still believed, 'cause you saw something worth saving. But when that faith died, you exited with the grace of someone who knows endings don't need fireworks. They need silence. And the day you went quiet was the day she lost the only guy who still bought into her lies. Number 3. The chaos kicks in when you have the guts to ghost. She didn't miss you the first day. Not even the first week. 'Cause in her inflated head, your disappearing act was just another pathetic tantrum, a cheap emotional trick she was used to shutting down with a few texts and a forced emoji. But this time, you didn't come back, and that's when, my dude, the flames started licking the ceiling. 'Cause you didn't just not come back, you evaporated. Poof. Gone from her stories, her texts, her emotional radar. And then it hit her. This wasn't a game. It was real. It was over. And the control she swore she had over you? It went down the drain without so much as a wave. You were always her mirror, right? She leaned in. You were her safe haven. She pulled back. You begged. Now, you're a brick wall. Cold, unmovable, unfazed. And that indifference, my friend, is premium-grade hell for someone who's always lived off an audience. Nothing freaks out a spoiled ego more than a guy who just stops. Stops replying. Stops chasing. Stops caring. You were the fuel for her little game. And now she's out there, frantic, trying to spark a fire you snuffed out with a casual, "I'm done." She feels it all. The emptiness, the silence, the lack of your attention that used to feed her narcissistic circus. Back when you were pissed, she felt in charge. When you argued, she felt like a queen. But now, you're pure absence. And absence, when it comes from someone she thought was hers forever, it's catastrophic. The chaos is all in her head, invisible. 'Cause her ego's too proud to own the blame. So she fakes it. Posts fake smiles, films forced stories, throws out empowered shade. But inside, she's a wreck, trying to figure out how you, her emotional doormat, had the nerve to vanish without a trace. And here's the cruel irony. You didn't need to yell, get even, or make a scene. You just stopped. And that left a hole no one else can fill. 'cause the guy she had, the one who still believed in her, is gone. And the new you couldn't care less. That's her apocalypse, planted in silence, watered by your absence, and harvested every time her phone doesn't buzz. Number 4, the silent game and the classiest revenge in the universe. She never thought she'd lose to a guy who just quit playing. Her whole game was built on low-budget manipulation, shady, mature hints, timed ghosting, accidental likes on her ex's posts to get under your skin. And you, like a lovesick sucker, took the bait. You reacted, explained, apologized for existing. But then, my dude, you woke up, had that light bulb moment, realized fighting someone who only wants to win, not grow, is like punching a knife with enthusiasm. So you did what she never saw coming. You folded your cards, left the table, and let the board collect dust. Now, her show's got no audience. Every emotional stunt needs a crowd to mean anything. No reaction, no hype, no drama. It's just a clown flopping around solo. And in the dead silence you built, she's losing the one thing she valued most: control. She knew exactly how to twist the knife. A ghost here, a cold lull there, a red receipt with no reply. And you'd crumble. But now, she drops a bomb and you don't even blink. You don't ask, don't demand, don't flinch. You watch her performance like it's a rerun of a trashy soap opera. Zero patience, total disdain. Every jab she throws bounces back like a dud. Her shade's just an echo. Her pokes hit a fortress. Her sexy selfie, a scream into the void. 'Cause someone who lives for impact dies when it doesn't land. And your indifference? It's the most gourmet punishment she could get. No shouting match, no essay, just silence. Ice cold, surgical, soul-crushing. You became the mirror of the maturity she faked. Now she's performing solo on the empty stage of a theater you tore down with one move: stopping caring. And that void she feels but pretends she doesn't? You left it there, without raising your voice, without proving a thing. 'Cause real revenge isn't about getting even. It's about not needing to. It's about ghosting and letting your absence do the talking. Number 5, the coldness. The gift disappointment handed you. She used to say you were too much, cared too hard, loved like it was a felony. And you, in your cheesy rom-com innocence, thought that was beautiful. Thought being real was a flex, that showing love was strength, that going all in was the move. Little did you know you were serving a 5-star emotional feast to someone who just wanted a snack and a quick exit. Every move you made became a burden, every sweet gesture a demand, every effort an obligation in her head. And what followed? The usual. Cold shoulder, mind games straight out of a B-list soap, manipulation so cheap it'd make a telenovela blush. And you? Trying to figure out what you did wrong while imploding. 'Cause here's the thing, men aren't born cold. They turn to stone after getting burned too many times trying to be a rose. Coldness isn't a skill or a lifestyle, it's armor. It's the scar of someone who loved hard and got treated like garbage. You didn't become this calculated dude out of ego. You got here 'cause you couldn't keep bleeding for someone who didn't even notice you were hurt. Every whatever you heard, every silence you swallowed, every crumb you settled for, pushed you to this point. Cold, distant, locked down. Not 'cause you want to be, 'cause you have to be. And now, she feels it. The absence of your warmth, your care, your constant presence. But like every narcissist with an overblown self-image, she's clueless about what she caused. 'Cause someone perched on their own pedestal never looks down to see who fell trying to reach them. She thinks you changed, became someone else. But only you know how many times you broke in silence, how many nights you were your own therapist, bed and pillow. And now this coldness. It's your lifeline. It's your way of saying, I'm done shattering myself for someone who never deserved me. You're not the easy mark anymore, not the go-to guy, not her emotional punching bag. You're the answer to the pain she pretended not to see. And your coldness isn't cruelty, it's emotional justice. It's the maturity of someone done being a disposable crutch. Because only those who've had their heart crushed get the real luxury of feeling nothing. Number 6, do nothing. Let her slap herself with her own reflection. You've done it all, man. Spilled your guts, explained, humbled yourself for something only you were holding together while she kicked it like it was trash. You took on her crises like they were yours. Tried to balance a scale where she just kept weighing it down. And still, like some emotional masochist, you kept at it. But now it's over. 'Cause you finally got it. Staying was like drowning solo while she snapped selfies from the lifeboat. So today, you do what? Nothing. And that nothing, my dude, is the silent earthquake crumbling her soul from the inside. Silence is the ugliest mirror out there. It throws back everything. No filter, no script, no half-baked excuses. And now she's stuck staring at the mess of her own actions, watching her neglect come back as emptiness. 'Cause when you're gone, all that's left is the echo. And echoes hurt. She tries to pin it on you, obviously. Her ego needs a bad guy for the story. But deep down she knows. Knows she dug the hole herself while you were just trying to build. And now that the house collapsed, she's staring at the rubble and you're not there trying to save it. You're just watching from a distance, with the calm of someone who's been to hell and came back with a beach chair. Her panic comes from having nowhere to shove the blame. No more emotional blackmail, no drama, no cheap manipulation. 'Cause you're not there. And the worst part? Your absence is the only place she can still scream. But nobody's listening. She tries to rewrite the story with new guys. Same moves, same script. But guess what? Nobody's you. Nobody's got your silence. Nobody's got that absence that speaks louder than any love letter. And the harder she tries to rerun the tape, the more she realizes you were the one giving her chaos meaning. Now she's fighting her own reflection. Alone. 'Cause you don't answer, don't react, don't show up. You learn the ultimate power move. You win when you stop fighting. When you don't budge, don't reply, don't beg. And right now, while you're breathing easy on this side, she's getting crushed by her own conscience. And the best part? You didn't have to lift a finger. 'Cause in this case, nothing is the sharpest weapon you've ever wielded. Number 7. When you're at peace, it's 'cause she's finally in the hell she built. This calm you're feeling? It's not luck, not fate, not some divine gift. It's the result of you kicking the emotional addiction. You dropped it all. Guilt that wasn't yours, canned drama, fake concern that was just control in disguise, and that ridiculous burden of being someone's emotional backbone while they tore you apart. Today, silence is your home. Distance is your shield. Absence is your relief. And while you're finally breathing without that knot in your throat, someone's tossing and turning at night. That someone's her. The same one who watched you crash and didn't lift a finger. The one who treated your love like a warranty she could cash in forever, like you were unbreakable. But the tables turned, and now she's the one squirming. Flipping through the past like she's trying to save a shredded photo. Wondering where she lost the reins. 'Cause yeah, what kills a manipulator most is realizing they lost the one person who still took their game seriously. And what's eating her alive? The fact that you're doing nothing. No shade, no jabs, no petty jealousy stunts. You don't chase, don't ask, don't show up. And that's killing her. 'Cause your peace is an insult. Your calm is a scream. And the silence you're carrying, it's the hardest hit she's ever taken, and the funniest part? You didn't even swing. She feels it. Feels the void where your love used to be. The space your care used to fill is now a vacuum. And that echo, it's just her hearing her own ghosts howling. Ghosts she fed with her neglect, her coldness, her arrogance. She's at war now. With her pride, her regrets, the sinking truth that she lost the best of you, and there's no redo. What was a bond is now dust, and she's trying to rebuild something with the crumbs left behind. Alone. No stage, no crowd, no you. Meanwhile, you're at peace. Not just any peace. The kind you earn after surviving hell and coming out whole. The kind that doesn't shout, doesn't explain, just is. And that peace, my dude, she'll never get it. 'Cause to get it, she'd have to feel the chaos she caused. But she only dished it out, never tasted it. Now she's choking on her own poison, and the aftertaste, that's all hers. Number 8. Real revenge is ghosting like a classy phantom. You didn't need some mastermind plot. Didn't stoop to her level. No yelling, no payback, no airing dirty laundry. 'Cause real revenge, the kind that leaves soul-deep scars, doesn't come loud, it comes quiet. In unannounced absence, in a vanish so clean it leaves no trail. And that's exactly what you did. You exited the stage with the swagger of someone who doesn't need an audience to close a trashy show. No long post, no 3 a.m. drunk text, no cursed one last talk. Nothing, just silence. And that, my guy, was the blow she never braced for. 'Cause she was still betting on the rerun, waiting for the cycle to loop, the sappy text, the "how you holding up" vibe check. But what did she get? Nada. Silence. Indifference. A void that screams. And when her hope fades, regret creeps in. But too late. 'Cause you're not just gone, you're elsewhere. On a new wavelength, a new level. You figured out some things don't get fixed, they get left behind. Some people don't deserve answers, they deserve distance. And you gave her just that, a period with no chance for edits. And the brilliance? This unexplained end is the perfect torture. 'Cause no closure means her brain's stuck on repeat. She replays every moment, spins theories, tries to solve a puzzle with pieces you already torched. But it's no use. You're not there, and you never will be. Her punishment? Knowing you took the best of yourself with you. You didn't turn into a jerk, didn't get petty. You just stopped settling for scraps. And that choice, quiet, firm, drama-free was your golden revenge. She'll try her script on new guys, but she'll learn nobody cares like you did. Nobody bends like you bent. Nobody comes back like you did. And then, she'll think of you. Not with cute nostalgia, with pain, with frustration, with that bitter taste of, I lost something I'll never find again. You're the memory that stings, the standard nobody meets, the scar she hides even from herself. And without lifting a finger, without a single word, you won. You're living in peace, and she's stuck in her self-made hell, built, furnished, and now lived in solo. Number 9, the final lesson. Peace as her emotional death sentence. She was betting big. Positive you'd lose it, beg, crawl back like you always did. That you'd scream, send desperate voice notes, show up with that last gasp of hope. But you did the unforgivable, you found peace. Instead of a meltdown, you chose silence. Instead of imploding, you slipped out the emergency exit without a peep. And now, every inch of your calm is a punishment she never saw coming. 'Cause here's the deal, she knew how to play your pain. Knew how to tame your hurt. Knew exactly how to break you down. But now she's facing a guy who doesn't crack, doesn't react, doesn't feel anymore. And for someone who fed off your suffering like it was a buffet, your peace is life without parole. 'Cause the worst punishment isn't a fight, it's dead silence. It's realizing the stage is set, and the crowd's gone. She misses you. No question. Your love, your all-in vibe, that patience she trampled with stilettos. But admit it, never. That'd take maturity she pawned off to feed her ego. Now what's left? Wounded pride. And pride, my dude, doesn't warm the bed, doesn't text back, doesn't bring back hugs. She'll move on? Sure. She'll pose on Instagram, laugh with a drink in hand, post some glow-up quote with a motivational filter. But every room she walks into will feel hollow. Every hug will feel generic. Every kiss will taste like a performance. 'Cause your presence was real, and your absence is even more so. She won't say she's hurting. She'll act. She'll lie to herself. She'll pretend she's winning. But inside, it's a crater. Quiet desperation. 'Cause she didn't just lose you. She lost the only you that existed. The one she broke thinking he'd take it forever. That he'd always come back. That he was endless. And you learned the harshest, most freeing lesson. Peace is punishment for someone who only knew you in chaos. You didn't need to get even, drag her, or explain. You just stayed quiet, kept moving in silence. And that silence, it's the eternal echo ringing in her head every time she tries to act like she's over it. Deep down, she knows. You left without a word, but your absence is still screaming inside her, and it will. Forever. Final bonus. The quietest and deadliest victory. You didn't need to yell, throw a fit, or post some teary digital diary on Instagram. No need to flaunt receipts, start drama, or step into the circus ring where she ran her show of manipulation and theatrics. Why? 'Cause you did what terrifies people like her most. You vanished in peace. And peace, my dude, is an emotional WMD. While she's out there, chewing on her own pride, trying to crack the code of your silence, you've already figured out you don't owe explanations to someone who only remembered you existed when it suited them. You got it. You don't save someone who drowned you and expected a standing ovation. Silence isn't weakness. It's the deafening roar of someone done talking to brick walls. And now, you're living rent-free in her head. Your absence is the ghost of what she never valued. Your calm is psychological warfare. Your coldness, emotional AC on full blast. She was waiting for a revenge spectacle? Poor thing. You didn't even want that. All you wanted was the basics, respect. Something real, honest, no telenovela script. But since she treated your heart like a clearance rack find, now she's stuck with the premium emptiness you left behind. And spoiler, no emoji, no flirty DM, no new guy in her lineup's gonna fill that gap. She can post stories with cheesy quotes, glowing like she's got it all together. Hell, she can even play relationship guru. Doesn't change a thing. The damage is done. You're not a threat. You're a consequence. Plain and simple. Today, you're a memory. But the kind that burns, that stings, that hits at 3 a.m. You're a scar in plain sight. A painful reminder of what she lost thinking she was running the game. And the poetry of it all. You pulled it off without moving a muscle. You just disappeared. You just existed. Too far for her to reach.